all the resources have been taken and our asteroid has been let go. It is floating away there. All we have to do now is run into this here. I'm a little confused as to which way I'm travelling. I want to be travelling down, preferably, I think. Yeah, I think as long as I'm heading towards the target, it should be fine. So, here we go. Let's aim ourselves up here again so we can see what's going on. Zoom out a bit. And start off the UI. And we can watch the magic happen. So we start with solar panels and engines. I'm not sure how it figures out which one to take first, which parts to grab first, but seems to be kind of doing the job. And we might be drifting away, so... Oh, apparently we are one ship now. So this actually docks to the vessel. It grabs it and then starts devouring it piece by piece. I do think that it's figures out how much a piece costs, adds that to our inventory, then deletes the piece. So, and I do know that the metal just doesn't instantly come in, it ticks up over time, so that's why it figures out how dense a piece is and it takes time to deconstruct it. So, obviously it's going to take out the inner pieces. So there we go, there's our farm has gone. And the last piece. And the job's good. There we go. Right. And we are approaching absolutely full on our metal. That's excellent. That's really, really good. I am extremely tempted to now not actually bring this home, to leave this in orbit and build off of it using these docking ports, because I like this a lot. I'm tempted to send up a little base station with some way of building something that can store more rocket parts than Kinesia Station can, yeah. But I'm not sure yet. I don't really know what we're going to do with that one yet. So I need to rebalance my metal. There we are. Can leave this on all the time and it will do things on its own all the time. So I might just leave that balancing and turn that off, so whenever it gets more stuff it does that. I don't know if it adds to lag or anything. We have turned yellow there. If I turn that off... nope, it's still yellow. Anyway. We are going to do something else now. I am going to save the game. Like that. And also, I'm going to reload the game. And my reasoning for doing that is quite simply so the game is nice and smooth again. As you can clearly see, I can see it, hopefully you can see it on the video. It's we're no longer yellow, we're no longer dodgy physics. It just, everything becomes smoother when you reload the game every now and then. I'm guessing, I don't think it happens with default Kerbal. It didn't happen on the last version I had, the 1.2, but on 1.3 it is. So I'm guessing one of the mods I have isn't quite compatible. It's probably throwing up errors in the log that I can't see. But anyway, what we're going to do now is target the centre of mass. And I'm going to see if we can eat that asteroid. I really want to find out. So let's activate our recyclers because they turned off when you reload it, which is a good thing because you don't want to leave them on. I'm also tempted to put a Kerbal up there and find out. I don't think you can recycle Kerbals. I don't know what we'd recycle them into. Mushy peas or something. Yes, we're going to fire up our engines and it gets this weird oscillation. I'm not sure what does that. If I turn off the reaction wheels, it does go away. So that's right, turn off it. I actually turn off the reaction wheels rather than the RCS thrusters. It does go away, as I've said. So turn it off, we turn it back on, and then it fixes the roll. So what I need to do now is bring up. This is getting slow and heavier by the moment, this craft. Point ourselves on target and accelerate time to get over there because it's 200 meters away. We're getting nice and close. That will do. Aim my camera up here again because that's always better looking. And let's see if we can eat an asteroid. I'll be honest with you, I'm not expecting this to work. I don't think the recyclers can actually do anything to asteroids. Well, that would be an easy way to get lots and lots of ore. No, I don't think. Nope, we're just going to bump into it and that's it. It's not ever going to dock to be able to grab the crew hatch. There, it's not able to consume the alien technology inside. So okay, now I know. I really wasn't expecting that to work anyway. I could, in theory, harpoon this and drag it around with me, but considering the weight of this craft, nah, I don't think I want to. So what I need to do now is bring this craft home somehow. I'm not really sure how I'm going to do this because I need to do that. I need to turn myself around and I can't. I don't have anywhere near the amount of fuel for that. To get down there's 200 and right, so I need to figure out how to get, and I'm thinking maybe the moon can help. So here's the plan. I will fire down here and boost our orbit up to reach the moon at just under 500 meters a second, which we have. Then when we're at the moon, we'll be coming into the moon from, basically we'll be very nearly hitting it. We'll be coming in very, very slowly against the moon's orbit. It's going this way, we're coming the other way. When we're very close to it, here at our periaps, that's where that should be. Periaps. There. We will then be doing another maneuver to slow ourselves down, just slightly, not a great deal, but the idea is that when you come out of the back of the moon against its orbit, you are travelling slower than the object, and by doing so you will fall down to the planet first, if that makes sense. That doesn't make sense. Sorry, that doesn't make sense when I've been explaining that. So what I mean is that when you come out of the back of the object, obviously you will be at a lower orbit and you will be naturally at the same orbit as the object you've come from. So at the moment we're going around clockwise, the moon is going around anti-clockwise. When we come out the back of the moon, we will then be travelling anti-clockwise. And I know that because this red one here is what's going to happen after my second manoeuvre, which is going to be about 150. Yep, 140, 150. That makes 650 delta V we've got to use. That's 729. So we're relying very heavily on aero braking. Yes, and I know we're going to be coming down this way, coming down this one and up this one, because if I add a manoeuvre node here, it says 1 day 5 hours, 2 days 1 hour, 2 days 1 hour. Oh, sorry, this side, 2 days 2 hours. So that means we're coming down here and up there. And that means we'll be travelling that way around the planet. We'll be travelling anti-clockwise, which is the same as Kinesia Station, which is the one on the inside that you can't see. That one there. You'll see the lines are brighter here. That means that's where it's been, and the darker lines are where it's going. So same Kinesia Stations is going that way around, and we're travelling this way around. So by going up to the moon, using its gravity to come back down again, granted we will be a little bit drunk. I could probably fix that up there, but whatever. That's going to cost me 650 delta V. To just stop here, turn around and go back to there will be about 3000 delta V. So yeah, that's the way to do it. And so, with everything checked and double checked, Valentina and Jebediah Kerbal take controls of the recycler and aim for the moon. Once at the moon, they fire the engines again just enough to allow the moon's gravity to slingshot them back towards Kerbal. And return to Kerbal they do, just scraping the atmosphere enough to use aero braking to slow themselves down. But one aero brake simply isn't enough. Neither is 2 nor 3. No, in fact, it takes 7 aero brakes to slow themselves down. Just enough so that they can get somewhat close to Kinesia Station. Sadly, however, this story does not have a happy ending. Here we are in orbit of Kerbal. I've done all the aero braking. I've actually gone through the atmosphere another 2 times, I think, just scraping down to about 60k to slow ourselves down slightly. And although I have managed to get on the correct plane as Kinesia Station, I couldn't get close enough to it. I'm, well, a long way off. You see 182 and I need to be 242. I have used all the fuel, all the monopellant, everything. There is absolutely nothing left on this craft. Not even enough to actually bring our Kerbals home. I used all the monopellant, and yeah, this pod could not get back into the atmosphere if it tried to. So I do think I had a mover set up, and I was about 30 meters a second off. That's all I needed, and I would have been able to basically rendezvous. So what can I do here? Kinesia Station does have some ability to build things, so I could build a small tug, maybe? Bring it out here, dock it on, but Kinesia doesn't have any fuel on board. Only got monopellant, so I'd be still limited to that there. The other thing I could do would be to launch another craft up with fuel on board to bring this back here. That's a tempting one. I don't want to recover this whole ship. That's no idea. Just want to recover our Kerbals and then use our metal to build things, which is something that I'm also thinking about. this disconnects here. This is the stage there, the couple stage. So realistically, I'd be using the large docking ports. But I was thinking, if I was to send another ship up like this, but instead of having metal storage, it had rocket part storage, and I, using Kerbal attachment system, put a docking port on here, I could, in theory, come along and dock to this with a new ship, and, well, I could transfer it fuel so it could travel to the station. It could do a few other things. I could, in theory, send up another stage and put a stage in between here and the end and have this reattached to it. So there are many possibilities, many things I've got to sort of figure out how to do. It's probably the largest undertaking I've ever done. So yeah, I'm not really sure how to do this. The first thing I'm going to have to do is send up a ship with some form of monopellet. I can't EVA my Kerbals because they will just float away, and that's a bad thing. We do have 15 days of nitrogen left, so we're not in any immediate danger. So I think I need to look at designing maybe a mobile rocket factory, and well, perhaps look at redesigning a space station using this as its core, maybe. And this is what I've come up with. It's the same layout as our recycler, basically the same ship essentially, with a few different things on the end. It's got rocket part storage instead of metal, because that's what we need. It has a science bay because they can print rocket parts just as well as the K&K factory can, and it fitted better. Being round, it just fitted better to it. It's got a different command pod on the top, one I've not used before, so hopefully that'll all work wonders to it. And it's got docking ports sort of all over the place on it. Yeah, it's essentially the same basic layout as what we've already got up there, just a rocket factory instead. So hopefully we can glue it on the end, and all will be good. So here we are, a lot further ahead than I bet any of you were expecting, and the reason for that is because I messed up. Somehow, between launching this craft and recording it in orbit, I managed to switch OBS over to desktop mode rather than window mode, and it essentially recorded a slideshow of what was happening, and it doesn't really make sense. For some reason on desktop mode it doesn't seem to update as often. I'm not sure why or what I've done there, but anyway, it's now back to normal mode, so it should be recording properly here. So let me go over what's happened and what you've missed. Firstly, this is the recycler. Obviously that part there is the old ship. This is the rocket factory. That's the recycler. We got this into orbit and managed to get a rendezvous and use pretty much all of our fuel, as you can see. Its layout is quite sort of simple. It's the basic thing. It's got a command pod at the end. Little one there, just yeah, it's got the Mark IV heavy command module from. It's not near future. It might be near future. I'm not sure what mod that's from, actually, to be honest with you. I don't know. I've installed quite a few when 1.3 come along. We have our science bay here for printing rocket parts, which we could probably start now, but I don't really want to. I think I'll leave that till we actually get somewhere better. We have here, I love these are brilliant, the fuel service tanks. If you open them up, they open up with a fantastic door, and we've hidden the batteries in there. They are just, I just really like the doors on them. They slide really well done. But here's probably the most interesting and important thing of this craft. This is a nuclear reactor. Yes, the little garnet fission reactor. It's producing electricity. It's currently set really, really low. Yeah, it's set to 3% power using 12, because even when this whole ship is moving at full speed, turning around at full speed, the reaction wheels, they don't use anything. So yeah, right now that's doing nothing, and we've got depleted uranium there, and that's going to last forever with some heat radiators on it, so it's not going to overheat. the main body is exactly the same as the recycler, with the exception of one additional tank. But yeah, it's the same thing. It's got the same design on the outside, just with rocket parts instead of metal storage. And at the end, I've put the 4 engines on the outside, and the reason is because of this connection here. As you can see, our engines are not on the back anymore. Moving engines, which is something I really wish I did capture on camera. I might do it again to show you, but these weigh 4 tons, and a single Kerbal can lift 1 ton. So I could detach the engines from the bottom and they just float away. However, if you bring other Kerbals in the area, if they're within, I think, 5 meters of the target, they can be any Kerbals, don't have to be engineers, any Kerbals. If they're there, you can then get an engineer and use all 4 Kerbals to lift 4 tons. 5 Kerbals would be 5 tons, so on and so forth. So I managed to get 4 Kerbals around the back here, which was lots of fun, trying to keep them in places, and attach these onto nodes that I put there. They've got these little connector ports underneath there, because although you can fit them in the VAB to the side of ships and stuff, you can't do it with Kerbal attachment system. So yeah, but they've been put on the side there. I did have an issue with one floating away and had to go and bash it back. It was loads and loads of fun. We have got this docking port alignment here. I couldn't grab this and attach it directly to that like I wanted to do. The reason for that is because if I did grab that, it would be just that fuel tank, not everything else attached to it, just that one. I would have to essentially take that ship apart piece by piece and put it together piece by piece on the end there. I also don't have the large docking ports released open yet, so I can't use them. I'll put that there, and the idea is if that doesn't look very strong, I'm going to move some of these connector ports down to here and just connect them. I think I'll do 4 connections round using them, and that should hold it a bit more rigid. But yes, we are here. We've got a bit of fuel left, we've got a bit of monopropellant, and more importantly, we have a manoeuvre set up in 1 day's time. It's a long way off, but in 1 day's time, and we will be able to meet Kinesia Station. If I do this manoeuvre here, it moved again slightly, but oh, there it is, there. If we do that manoeuvre there, we will go around and we will meet Kinesia Station at 0.9 degrees. I'm really not sure why that craft is now spinning around. That's very, very strange. Not from here. Wow, the control from here just switched around with it for some reason. That's really odd. But no, as you can see, with the craft now moving in all different directions at once, it's just not using any electric. So that nuclear generator with the solar panels are doing good. I can close the solar panels. I've also mapped the heat ones there to it, and we are using. Of course, yes, I set the nuclear reactor for that craft, not for that one as well. So I suppose it would be doubled. But yeah, no, that nuclear reactor could run this whole craft just fine, no problem at all. So that's going to probably become the core to my station, although I didn't really want a long and thin station this time, but that wasn't the idea. But it's sort of a start. I'm kind of thinking that rather than have this, I'm going to send all my Kerbals back home with this, and I'll have to send another ship up to refuel this because fuel is needed, obviously. But I'm just thinking that maybe I could use this setup, all this metal and all that, as well as the metal I'm going to get from eating Kinesia Station, that I could print loads of rocket parts and just print a space station. Essentially, use the command pod down there to print a giant station with a recycler on it, and then recycle this back into it. Maybe grabbing the nuke and moving it over. So yeah, that's sort of the idea I've got. But nothing's set in stone yet. I've got no mega plans for anything at the moment. So, well, I've got a plan, but it's sort of make it up as you go, really. But anyway, I have waffled enough. That's what happened there. I'm sorry you didn't see that on camera. That's my fault completely. But I'm going to go around to this manoeuvre. I will do this manoeuvre, and hopefully I will see you in a day's Kerbal time, or 1 day, 1 hour, when we are at Canicia Station. Here we come on final approach. We have used up all our fuel and a lot of our monopropellant. Actually no, not that much to be honest with you. I managed to do about a 15 meter second burn with the monopropellant. I think that was all that was needed. But this is I was complaining this one was heavy. Wow, put that all together. Yeah, this is mega. But we are coming in and probably a little bit fast because this thing handles like a bus. I do not want to crash into that station. That's going to be bad. What I am going to do is turn the station around to face us, because that's just going to make the life a damn sight easier. So if I was to control from here and then target that and point to target, I can turn the whole station around to face us to make life a damn sight easier, because I don't want to be manoeuvring this round. I'm going to have to get to the box. I want to again eat this from the bottom up. That's the idea. But yeah, I'm hoping I can dock with this without any major problem. Transfer all the fuel, transfer everything off of it actually. I can't wait 50 days for the food, unfortunately. That's probably going to have to go. This doesn't really have the food restores on it, so unfortunately that's going to disappear. But I will be building something else. I'd need to design something quite elaborate for a station, I feel. I want something, well, I thought this was large compared to the last station, but seeing as the ships that I'm building now, I think I want something mega, something huge. That's, yeah, something that's just large, welded together, because I don't obviously want all the wonderful hassle of lag, which I'm getting now. As you can see, I'm getting that there is in yellow, so sometimes saving and reloading does help it, though. That's something I have noticed, so not really sure whether it's just a mod that's lagging out on it or what. I don't know, but anyway, let's slowly but surely head towards this target. Hope we can dock with that without smashing into it. So, okay, down here. This is wobbling for some reason. I don't know why. Doesn't seem to like controlling from docking ports. The SAS. So, and ironically, that's what I need to do. No, I can do it from just here. We'll stay here. Everything looks good. Everything looks on target. I think this is going to be hopefully a first time dock. I will slow down again because 0.8 meters with this weight, I will smash the station to nothingness. And hopefully at 0.2 meters a second, which I still think is fast. I'm not sure how fast ships dock to the ISS in real life. But look at that. First time. There we are. Let's turn off the RCS. There we are. First go. Excellent. We are completely squiffed now, but that doesn't matter. You saw I got a message there about nitrogen. And the reason for that is I haven't been 15 days and used all nitrogen on this craft. But when Kerbal's EVA and come back in again, they use nitrogen. They use some up. Wow, I'm getting all sorts of. Yeah, they use up nitrogen. Obviously, that's going down quickly now because we're repressurizing our atmospheres in here. Our habitats. Yeah, when a Kerbal leaves and comes back, it uses fuel, and I was getting Kerbals in and out a lot because obviously I needed 4 Kerbals to grab the engines, and then when I had one float away, I was knocking it back and had to go back in to fill up the monopropellant. So yeah, it was quite interesting, to be honest with you. I used up I will have to have a look at that. I'll have to do some double checking on that because I'm not sure if the changes I've made to Kerbalism means that when a Kerbal gets out, it uses too much nitrogen. It may do. It may take too much with it. I'm not sure, but I'll leave it for now because it's working. So, what do we want to do here? We want to transfer all the resources from Kinesia Station to these here. We then want to turn ourselves around, bring our recycler in, and eat Kinesia Station. So let's start with transferring some crew, shall we? No crew there. Lisa Kerman can go into that pod, I suppose. And there should be one more, I believe. Are you in there? No. Are you in the science bay? Transfer crew. Yes. Yeah, there we go. You can go in there as well. In fact, all my Kerbal should really go up this end, but for now it doesn't matter. There is one thing else that's noticed. I think somebody pointed this out to me. I'm not sure, but you can level up crew whilst in space using a science station. So any experience they would have got, you can click, and I've got none on board that need it, but you could do that. So you could take a pilot out, take it out of Kerbal sphere influence, level them up, and then when they come back they would have these extra controls, which would be very useful. Also very useful for engineers, to be honest with you. So one other thing that's come along, I wonder if there's a cloning VAT mod. A mod that allows you to breed Kerbals when not in the astronaut complex. That would be interesting, I think. So I could put a colony on Mars and make it completely independent. Sorry, Duna, not Mars. Yes, anyway, I'm waffling again. So, we need to transfer all the resources over. Tech fuel balancer will do the wonderful thing here, and yeah, I will go through all of these, and then I will move all our Kerbals up to the correct place. I'll swap this around, and we'll eat Kinesia Station, and yeah, we'll take it from there, I suppose. A little bit of time has passed. I've transferred all the resources over, and also I've printed all the rocket parts. I thought rather than just use the one science bay, I would use 2 science bays and a rocket factory to actually produce the rocket parts. Thought why not use it whilst it's here. Also that means that I've got plenty of metal space spare. Do you want to be transferred out? For when I consume Kinesia Station, because if you consume something with no space for metal, it just gets destroyed, it disappears. So yeah, there's that. Okay, all the crew are up that end as well, so we should be good. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to undock from here, hit them, find out what craft I get control of. I do not know. I think I'm in control of this one. So I want to point that retrograde. Is that the right one? Yes, there you go. She's turning round. Okay. So whilst that's turning round, I want to control this from here. Turn on the SAS. She only has basic SAS. Okay. I was really expecting to be able to put this retrograde, and then the bottom of the fuel cans would just turn up in the right place. So, but I'll do it manually. I'm really hoping that it doesn't come around and bash into me. There's no fuel left on board this at all, so we couldn't push it out the way if we wanted to. But we should be good. I think that ends longer than this end because of the extra fuel tank. Right, so let's point this directly retrograde. Switch back to this ship here. Point you retrograde. And she's not quite facing the right direction. That's fine. Obviously they are on 2 orbits, so they will be doing different things. Want to turn you this way, I think, a little bit. There we go, that should do. Right, now, what's our target? Reset our target. Point at the target. Aim my camera up here because that's better. And now with the RCS we should... for some reason when I switch ships it switches to this as the main command pod. Which, that's okay. Oh, and I want to actually enable these, don't I? Activate recycler and... oh, there we are. Now, as was pointed out in the comments to the last video by Chriskin, thank you very much, I don't need the harpoons on here. These actual recyclers do kind of dock to the station, so, or whatever you're doing to, they hold on to it, so you don't need the winches to pull things in, which I thought you did. Also, running two recyclers at once may cause problems. I haven't come across that yet, but I'll take your advice just in case. I'll run the one. So, yeah, and we will gobble this all up. Let's turn off the RCS. We don't need that firing. Interestingly, they do actually dock because the RCS on this station is firing, so yeah. So it does actually form some form of dock. Nom 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 nom. All the bits and pieces. Sometimes it takes a while to consume something. I'm wondering whether it's trying this now. I think it's based on the mass of whatever it is. I know we're doing that. So yeah, it's based on the mass of it, and it just takes a certain amount of time to eat a tonnage, I suppose. That's just how it works. How's our metal storage doing? We are back up to 3,000. Excellent. And then the food stuff. The little plate, the fuel tanks. Actually, that's one thing, is it? No, that's one. That's one there. It's time here. Ah, there we go. And there we are. All done. Not sure why it took so long to do that little plate there. Yes, there we are. All done. And I'm getting a slideshow now. This is really, really, really slow. So, let's see here. Now, if I reset my camera back to normal. So now this is all done. Basically, I can just tell it to build things off here, or off anywhere I really like, to be honest with you. It could print from anywhere it wants to. But, yeah, I think the final protocol is bringing our Kerbals back home again. And with everything in place, we can now detach our top piece. There we are. So this can be pointing a retrograde, and I need to enable full throttling on all my RCS. Four. Yeah. And then simply fire up the engines. And it's slow. Yes, it's very, very slow. But yeah, it's gonna go now. I did set up a maneuver just so I could figure out where I'd be, but yeah, it's gonna be a very, very, very long process. But eventually, we will bring ourselves down to the atmosphere, and I'll see you back on solid ground. And down we come. It took a long time for these little engines to slow this ship down. A really long time. They were firing at about 4 minutes before the apoaps and 4 minutes after, so about 8 minutes ago, for 4 orbits before, yeah, they come down. So yeah, that took a very long time to do. I'm just hoping that these parachutes are enough, because these are heavy. These little recycler things, they're very heavy. So 13 meters a second, that's going to smash off the shield at the bottom, maybe even the tank. These are not very efficient little thrusters. They are quite pathetic, really, and don't use much fuel at all, and don't do a great deal. So I remember in future, don't use them. Use something else. They're good for small craft, like little probes and things. That would be fine for them. But I'm just hoping that we're going to actually touch down and not explode. I could drop the heat shield off. I know that's heavy, but I'm thinking that's quite good protection. So we'll leave that for a bit. And we want to do radio out. We've got no electric charge left. That's got. Oh, it's actually filling up now because the solar panels are getting something. But nope, we spent most of the trip just on our RCS trying to keep us straight. Oh, and here we go. Moment of truth. Oh. Wow. That was exciting. We lost the heat shield and the tank, but we didn't lose the habitat. That is safe. Our Kerbals are safe, and our Kerbals are home. And there we go, we've gathered some science. That came down with the craft. Good job, because I forgot to transfer that, so good job it came over. So we've gone 309 science now. We recovered 21,000, which is good, I suppose. No XP, because I think they've all done everything before. But we're back. We are home. Things are done. And yeah, I think that's as good a place as any to end this episode. I am going to design a space station, I think, with actually, no, I'm not. I'm going to build a craft that can grab that asteroid and put it in the correct orbit. We want to have it so that it's facing the opposite, so it's spinning the opposite direction around Kerbal. So I'm going to need to build something with about 5,000 delta V. That's going to be an interesting challenge. Yeah, and maybe we'll have to look at some contracts, because obviously we've got new things going on there, but that's all going to wait for next time. So, thank you very much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this episode. The recycler thing's gone on for 3 episodes now, so yes, and I hope to see you again in the next one, of course. And as always, have fun.